Alright, this section here is to reassemble the regulator. Alright, you have to replace the O-ring that you want to replace. Usually I replace them all. I already did about a couple of months ago, but you know, I'm gonna keep the same O-ring, but I replaced one. One was right here. It was slightly deformed. All the pressure pushing it this way. It's not totally round anymore. So I replaced that. I lightly coated with just very slight coat, moly coat 55. Alright. First thing you need to really set here is your valve seat here. Right here. Before I took this out, I took my own different measurement. I took it from the inside. Alright. When I took the rotor out and measured the seat from down there, I had 1375. You know. Zero it in. Alright. Like that. The bottom's out. 1386. Try it again. It's kind of awkward. There you go. 1376. Originally I had 1375. Well, you're so close you could well, it's so close it wouldn't matter. You adjust it by the spring, hammer spring tension. But that's close. Alright. Now what goes in is your lock nut. Alright. Wasn't scared. Yeah, snug, not really a tight. It's snug. Alright. The valve seat won't, the reason for reverse thread is the seat, right, it won't back out because it won't push. If this is threaded the same, it will back this out as a one unit. So if it have tendency to push that one out, right, if it's counter, it would tighten. It acts like a jam nut, so no way it'll back out. Otherwise, reverse thread. Alright. Lightly, right? I lightly lube this O-ring, lightly lube this. Because I already re-lubed and cleaned up all the disc. Alright, everything's good to go there. To do this, you seat this O-ring first. Alright, side to side. There. When it's seat, there's no more play. Everything's looking good. Alright, just push all the way in. That's to the side. Alright. Here, make sure everything's clean in there. Alright, especially way down inside there because this O-ring sits there. Alright. I told you before, mine went out on this one. Alright. The only way to tell was it's shooting really hot. 160, 170. Alright, I found out this O-ring was bad. So clean it up, lightly, very lightly lube it. Alright. And when you tighten this, it's all hand tight. You don't need to torque this down or anything like that. Right? Hand tight. These O-rings are good. I just re-lube them, clean it inside. I put that to the side. On here, you have to pay attention. You should have marked this before you took it apart because this is important. Well, it only goes a certain way. If you do the other way around, you know, it'd be too short because this piece here is not deadly center. One is shorter than the other. Is this way. This guide bushing, right, sits in there to guide the Delrin. Try to get it in there. Probably easier. Alright, make sure everything's clean here on the valve stem and seat. Alright. The spring sits on this bushing. Alright. This bushing sits on that little hole around there. So it guides everything. It goes in and out open. So it's perfectly aligned. Doesn't, you know, misalign it, or it will be a wear and tear. Alright. Shit in this way. Goes into the hole. Alright, you see it going into the hole right there. Screw that on. Oh. See there? That's why I marked it earlier. One line, that means this line. So I wasn't paying attention. Let's take it out. See, it won't screw on. You gotta reverse it. Okay. One Sharpie black line. One Sharpie black line. What's this way? There's a quicker reference to assembling it instead of just looking which side. They're so close in depth measurement, you can't really tell by the eye. So just line up my two Sharpie and tight it. There's a line. Alright. Now, this one piece. Again, hand tight. There you go. My two alignment Sharpie markings. All the O-rings are there. Alright, my lock nut is tight. And, alright. This O-ring here, you know, holds the high pressure end. Alright. And this too keeps the regulator air intact within this chamber here. Alright. If this O-ring leaks, right, it will gradually creep up and equalizes pressure here. Right. The indication this O-ring will leak or is leaking, right, it'll be on your telltale tube. It's called a little hole on your tube. It's a telltale tube. Telltale hole, I'm sorry. Let's show you here. Here's the tube. And here's a little hole. It tells me it's leaking if air comes out of there, because, right, it goes like this deep in, because this screw, this cap screw goes in there and goes here. Right. And right there is a telltale hole. So if this O-ring leaks, it will come out of here. Alright? That means it's time to go on the regulator. Clean and inspect the regulator while you have it out. Alright? There you go. Regulator is fully assembled. All the necessary O-ring replaced. Everything looked good after a clean inspection. There you go. Let me just put it back in. I'll cover that in another video. It's a little more longer. It requires a lot of attention, because when you slide this in, there's a lot of areas this O-ring could be pinched, and you kind of help it guide through all the sharp object, because it's so tight. This O-ring contents bubble up, and you gotta push it in the seat and push it back in further into the tube, and it goes all the way through there and push the O-ring in until it's fully seated. Alright, I'll cover that on our next video. That's it for now.